Throughout all of history, the LGBT community has been targeted because of who they are, typically caused by religious or cultural biases.
In our modern-day life, this discrimination has been slowly declining.
However, the media is still severely lacking when it comes to properly representing and portraying the LGBT community.
This lack of proper representation usually stems from a lack of adequate knowledge on the topic of the LGBT community and, in turn, leads to further discrimination.
The media is a major source of information for people around the world. However, coverage of social, economic, and governmental events that affect the LGBT community is scarce. Therefore, the media must apply more effort into releasing a more diverse array of information. YouTube has become a major platform for people to acquire news and listen to stories. Noah Finn, a transgender teen, helps other trans people by telling about his experiences in videos. Recently, YouTube has been demonetizing, or removing the monetary value, from videos that have the words trans or transgender in the title. People who rely on YouTube for their income could become unemployed. Workplace discrimination happens with more common jobs as well, not just YouTube, which can greatly affect the economy. A journalist with the Washington Post recently explained the effect that the media and government has on tolerance. The main argument from this article came from GLAAD, an LGBT rights organization. GLAAD did a survey of LGBT and non-LGBT citizens to discuss people's feelings towards the LGBT community. This survey was then compared to a previous survey to see reactions before and after Trump became a focal point in the media. There was a dramatic increase from the first study to the second study of non-LGBT citizens explaining that they don't think that LGBT people should have the same rights as everyone else, and that LGBT people make them uncomfortable. Further, there was an increase in LGBT citizens saying they've been targeted because of their sexual orientation or because of their gender identity. Clearly, when leaders in the government have homophobic and transphobic views that are displayed in the media, there is a rise in intolerance towards the LGBT community throughout the country and throughout the world. The main page of the CNN website frequently highlights important articles in the news. However, articles relating to LGBT events are usually absent. This is an abomination, considering it is Pride Month, and there have been multiple events and parades. People would be more accepting if they had more insight on these events. Another issue is the portrayal of LGBT characters in television. GLAAD reviewed these portrayals from 2016 to 2017. Only 4.8% of characters were LGBT on primetime television, and this is a record high at the time of the report. There are many negative portrayals of people, such as bisexuals. They were shown as untrustworthy and manipulative. This causes people to act differently around bisexual people in everyday life. Clearly, the social climate is affected by the negative stories in the media and negative portrayals in television.
While major media and news outlets seem to represent much of the population, this is not the case. LGBT events which greatly affect culture, human-environment interaction, and social climates are often not represented in media coverage. Therefore, the LGBT community needs to take it upon themselves to spread information about major events affecting LGBT people. Migration patterns are greatly affected by discrimination, since people who are persecuted for being LGBT often try to escape their current homes to move somewhere new. This causes populations of LGBT people in certain areas to fluctuate. On top of that, LGBT people trying to enter America to escape persecution are often given less help than other refugees, since their stories aren't being told as often in the media. For example, gay men in Chechnya, Russia, were being tortured and killed in the streets of their homeland just last year, and when they escaped, they had to go to places such as Mexico and Canada, since entering the U.S. is much more difficult. Part of the reason why they're having trouble moving here is due to the fact that their stories are not being shared with the public in America as much as they should be. LGBT people also have an entirely different culture from that of most hetero and cis individuals. The lack of media coverage on this culture makes people fear it more, and in turn causes more hate and discrimination. LGBT people are known to be loud and proud about who they are, and throw big festivals and parades to celebrate the diversity and equality within their community, as shown in this video clip taken by me when Kate and I attended Boston Pride recently. Slight edit. I was unable to add in the video clip, so here are some awesome pictures Kate and I took at Pride. Yas Queen! Slay! Ah! Yay! That one looks great! Woo! Incorrect media representation also reveals how truly homophobic and transphobic people can be, since news reports about hate crimes concerning LGBT individuals are often riddled with mistakes concerning the identities of victims. An example of this is Tiffany Edwards, who was a trans woman that got shot and killed in Ohio as part of a hate crime. When the local media was reporting on her death, they misgendered her and used pictures of her from before the time in which she began to physically transition to look more feminine. This is a gross mistreatment of transgender people that can further encourage discrimination against LGBT individuals.
To combat this issue, media platforms such as CNN and YouTube must put in more effort to spread a diverse collection of information. In addition, portrayals of LGBT people in television and in film must be more accurate, and there must be more LGBT characters in general. This will spread tolerance. Government officials also have to be more mindful of what they say, and not spread transphobic and homophobic ideals to the media. Although it could bring initial harm to news outlets and television networks by refocusing their energy to more diverse stories, in the long run, these steps could reshape the world's view of the LGBT community for the better.
Some ways that people in the LGBT community can help spread information about current events include attending Pride events to learn about what the people in their communities are doing to help fellow LGBT individuals, making sure to stay up to date about current LGBT events, voting in local elections to ensure their voices are heard, and educating people outside of the LGBT community on LGBT issues. While some people may have a hard time absorbing information given to them by people outside of their local news stations, educating people outside of the LGBT community on these issues is vital in ensuring we create a world with less hate and discrimination.